What's up, guys? We're back, episode 18 of the All In CrossFit podcast. I guess we've been doing some traveling lately, so we've been away for a couple weeks. I guess for a quick update of everything that's going on, events at the gym, stuff that's coming up this week and in the next couple of weeks, Chris is about to fill y'all in.
Like Jared said, we've been doing a lot of traveling and being in and out of town, a lot of busy times at the for a lot of people at the gym, and just a lot of stuff going on with the gym in general. We had a lot of people, 12 competitors exactly competing in the Summer Swole Mates competition put on by C2 CrossFit. Had some very successful day. You know, we all competed well. I teamed up with Crystal, Joey Patterson and Kim Travis teamed up, Kirsten and Kevin, Libba and Matt, and James and Maggie. James and Maggie pulled out a second place finish in RX.
Y'all got fourth, right?
Yeah, Crystal and I pulled fourth.
So two of the top four teams,
yep,
all in represent.
Oh yeah. It was a good day. And then Joey and Kim were second place in the scale division, and Matt and Libba finished third in scale. So I think that was Matt's first competition.
Oh, nice.
So that was pretty cool. He's
taking on that podium.
Been here for a while, and he finally decided to throw his hat in the ring and compete. It was pretty cool to see. Lots of PRs on cleans. Matt had a PR. Not to mention that we all had to do, almost 100 dumbbell snatches before we got to that point.
That's solid work.
Still some strong work on the cleans. I was very proud. As a coach, I'm very proud of everyone's effort and the way we kind of all go out there as a community and kind of show out a little bit and have fun together. So that was a good time. Then the day after that, we had another Sunday fun day, but instead of meeting in the gym, we met up at Chris Huff's house. He was nice enough to open his doors to us so that we could go out and swim at his pool and enjoy his wonderful backyard. Because, if you've never been to Chris Huff's house, you got to know that it's like a mini Narnia in his backyard. The trees and the landscaping is top notch. And but before that, we went on a nice little fun run. We had a 3 mile option and a 1.5 mile option, and both included a few obstacles. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I missed that, man.
It started out as a fun run, and then we realized that it was 98 degrees and super humid, but still had a good time. We definitely enjoyed getting back to the pool, being able to eat and swim and all that stuff. So that was a lot of fun. And then coming up, I'll leave anything out. What am I missing?
I think that's everything. Recap.
Yeah.
So this is coming out on Friday. So tonight.
Yeah. So tonight, everyone will notice that there's been a post going around on Facebook. We're gonna have August 25th. What's the date?
Yes, 25th.
August 25th, our next in-house competition, the All In CrossFit Games. All right. We are gonna release the workouts once we have 10 confirmed teams. All right. Remember, it's same sex. RX and scaled, so be thinking about your partners, but as soon as we get 10 confirmed teams, all right, we will release the workout so you guys can start strategizing. But until we get 10 teams, it ain't happening. So if
I think what we say, 4 or 5 we've got right now?
Yeah, we're at 4 or 5. We got a list, but instead of us reading it, you can go check it out on the community page.
Yeah, check out the community page.
But until we get those 10 teams, we're not releasing any workouts. So if you're one of those very few people who watch the podcast but you don't check Facebook, after you watch this, go get on Facebook, find your partner, and then we'll get to releasing those workouts.
Sing along.
But, oh, yes. Also, after you watch this podcast and you check Facebook for the announcement to find a teammate, also, tomorrow night, Sing Karaoke.
Well, as they watch it, it's tonight because we're releasing on Friday, not Thursday.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry. We're a day late. We're getting back into swing of things.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But Sing Karaoke, all right? We are going to have a gym outing. So please, if you are free, Sing Karaoke. It is on Opelika Road from 7 to 9. It will be going down. Make sure you get your singing voice ready, because I know that I'm going to be ready. I already have 3 or 4 songs in mind that I'm going to perform for you all.
That should be good.
For your listening and viewing pleasure, because it's not just singing along. It's a performance. So I may even have a few costumes.
Okay, we'll see.
Maybe.
We'll see.
But Sing karaoke Friday night, 7 to 9, adults only. Come and show us what you got. I think that's all the announcements. That's all the announcements. So, but pretty exciting times, man. Next week, CrossFit Games.
Yeah, so we've got
CrossFit Games.
some of the announced events so far. Was it start on the 1st? What was the day it starts on?
I think it's next Wednesday. I think
Okay,
that's the
yeah.
second.
No, that's the 1st.
Is it?
It's
Okay,
my
so
birthday. It's
August-
my birthday.
Birthday boy, CrossFit
Yeah,
Games.
you know. So, so far, for what we have, in years past, they've pretty much done a long aerobic event to open up. Whether it was usually on Wednesday, right? That's when
Yeah.
they open up.
Yeah,
They
the
take
last couple of
Thursday.
years has been Wednesday.
Yeah, and so then they take a day off on Thursday, and then they get into the barbell movements, different stuff like that. But this year, there are already 3 announced events on day 1. So we are going in hot and heavy, straight in as we get to it. The first individual event that was hinted was the bike, which Dave Castro put up on his Instagram.
Yeah.
But there's been no additional information released
Nothing.
so far.
The only thing that he showed was just a picture of the bike, and he made note of the fact that they were going to be wearing shoes that clipped into
Yeah,
the pedals.
the clip in. And a lot of the athletes have been posting on their social media, Facebook, Instagram, showing them trying to get clipped in.
Mm-hmm.
I know that several of them have had issues. They've fallen over. But once you get in, you're good to go. You're
Yeah.
ready to hit the road, and it'll be a road event. So
Yeah.
last year was the cyclocross, which was in grass and different stuff like that.
And on mountain bikes.
Yeah, and it was on a completely different bike. This is a
Yeah.
road bike you clip in, and so this is probably going to be something that's more like in the Ironman.
Yeah, but I feel
the
like
triathlons.
I feel like there's got to be a twist to it because
Yeah.
if not, then I don't think he would have put such an emphasis on the fact that they were going to wear clip-in shoes.
Yeah.
So I could see this event going as like a long bike ride into a long run, and then being able to make the transition from tennis shoes to clip-on shoes.
Okay,
is-
well, then that would be more along the lines of like an Ironman.
Yeah.
So they maybe even have a swim thrown in too.
Yeah.
But that's all, so far that's all we know. So
Yeah.
everything else is just
Yeah,
speculative.
we know there's a bike, and everything
Yeah.
else is just speculation.
Yeah, and maybe, everything that's coming up afterwards, or maybe the second announced event may be thrown in at the end of it, which was the 30 muscle ups.
Yeah.
And so, with it being the same day, it could be. But did he call it event 2? Is it listed as event 2?
Yeah, it's called event 2. Yeah.
But they've
Individual
done it
event
before
2.
where they've stacked events in together, and then it's come scored differently. But
Yeah.
so that's the second one.
I think 30 muscle ups for time, man. That's going to be interesting. I
Yeah,
feel like there's going to be a catch
Yeah,
to that
see,
too.
everything I feel like whenever he releases this, you don't get all the information.
Yeah.
So is it going to be weight vest strict? How's it going to be broken up?
I don't know. I mean, because there are a lot of guys out there now that can do 30 unbroken muscle ups.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big feat, but they're doing it. They're capable of that. So I'm interested to see what the catch is going to be.
Yeah, I think there's got to be one.
I'm thinking it might be a long bike ride swim, run, or even just a straight up Ironman swim, bike run.
Well, last year
Into
they did
30
it,
muscle ups
right.
at a time.
Last year they did it with the trail run into the deadlift ladder, and so there was you waited
2 years ago.
Okay, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because they did it in at Aramis.
Yeah.
Aromas. And so they had that back to back. And so if you finished last on the trail run, then you had to turn around and do the deadlifts first.
Yeah.
So that may be something that they do here. Maybe the lighter guys would be able to finish the bike a little earlier, and so they get a longer rest. Bigger guys, there's got to be some type of twist thrown
But the
in.
only thing, I just know that in the last couple of years, they've always done the long endurance event first.
Yeah.
So that way, everyone can start at the same time. And then after that, like your placing determines
Yeah.
the heat schedule for the rest of the competition.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good thing because, you don't want to give it, like normally the way that the heats are set up for regionals is based on your finish in the open. But if you can't really do that for the games because people are competing at different weekends.
Yeah, different
times.
weekends. You going head to head different times. It's like somebody brought up to us. If you look at the first place finisher for the South region, he would taken his times and his scores would not even have qualified in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Or Southeast. What are we? Southeast.
Atlantic.
Oh, Atlantic. Yeah.
Yeah.
We go Southeast goes to Atlantic.
I mean, that's saying a lot. I mean, that's not really. I don't know.
But they're not going. They're not going head to head. So like.
Right.
I mean, if
not going head to head.
Yeah.
A lot of people have failed to mention that the South region they actually competed in Salt Lake City, so they were competing at elevation. So their times were thrown off a little bit.
It's not apples to apples, but that just shows you what you're saying. It's like you can't take, list them 1 through 40 for the men's and women's and teams, and then throw them in and say like, hey, this is your heat schedule.
Yeah.
And so you put everybody all in that one group, and then bam, that first event goes ahead and determines who's going in which heat. In which the last couple of years, the athletes that have finished near the top have finished pretty well on the endurance events as well. So it's worked pretty well.
Yeah, that's it's definitely, people are taking note of that. So they're not. I mean, it used to be back in the day they would just kind of sandbag on that first event, but now points are hard to get.
Yeah.
So everyone's really going
I think
after
from first place you get 100. By the time you get to like 15th, it's already down to 50 points. And so you get too many finishes outside the top 15, you're going to be struggling through the rest of the weekend. Yeah, and there's no way you're going to be able to compete with the top 3 guys because they're going to be up there.
Yeah, it's just hard. It's hard to play catch up if you're not banging out top 10 finishes. But that's the team. That's the individual. What's the one more event?
Yeah, one more, which is on the same day.
The CrossFit Total.
Yeah.
I think it's not the first, but it's it's definitely one of the coolest events I think because I like all barbell stuff, 1 rep matches. But CrossFit Total, right? 1 rep max back squat, 1 rep max shoulder press, 1 rep max deadlift.
Now is that strict?
Yes.
It's going to be fun.
1 rep max strict press.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So.
But I mean that like if you look at that first day, you've got the bike, the long event. You've got the 30 muscle ups, so that's a complex gymnastics movement. And now you literally have raw strength.
Yeah.
And so that covers a lot all in the first day.
It's CrossFit.
Yeah, and so and that's also good.
Gymnastics.
That's also good for a standpoint of labeling it the fittest on earth, because you have people that'll come in and say, well, the decathletes, the folks, the Ironman, that do this and that. But then you look at this first day, there's a lot that's already thrown in there.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I just
plus
think,
the other events they're going to come throughout the rest of the weekend.
Who knows how many that's going to be, right? But I just like it. What I really like about it is like when people are taking their level 1, they break down. CrossFit breaks down all of its movements into weightlifting, gymnastics, and monostructural, right? Monostructural being running, rowing, biking, anything that's just single modality like that. With and then gymnastics is all of the bodyweight movements, and then weightlifting, of course, everything with the barbell. But now they're taking the first day of the games and breaking it all down into just very simple. So there's a monostructural workout, here's a gymnastics workout, here's a weightlifting workout. I mean, CrossFit to its core right there. And I think it's great. I think it sets up everybody, almost gives everybody a level playing field because it will play to everyone's strengths and weaknesses if they have any. And then you go into the rest of the weekend after the first day, everyone's had a chance to kind of show their specialties. Yeah,
what's going to be really good as well is you see somebody like Ben Smith, some of these guys that can back squat 500 pounds. I mean, they're going to be hitting this bike, being able to do muscle ups in 2 sets, maybe 3, and then be able to come in and put up a pretty big total back squat deadlift. Oh, yeah. It's going to be impressive.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of the, like everybody was bored out of their mind watching people do the 333 at regionals.
Yeah.
But I think the first day of the CrossFit Games is going to be a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
So it sets up to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty flashy.
Oh, yeah. And then, leading off of that, you got a heavy barbell in the deadlift. You look at the team workout, it's the bike deadlift, 3 rounds of 1,600 meter bike erg each, 1,600 meters on the bike erg each.
And they're going to be going all 4 at the same time. They're going to have 4 bikes. So it's not like you go right after they finish.
Yeah.
And so if there is somebody that's slow, you got to wait on them before you can go.
Yeah. And then 25 deadlifts as a team on that long bar. I think that bar made its debut in 2014 or 15?
Yeah.
It was the last year that the games were at 15 or 16.
16, yeah.
15 or 16 is when they brought out that long deadlift bar. Yeah. But even then they used it as they had 3 people because it was still a 6-team format.
Yeah, 3 guys, 3 girls, right?
Yeah, but they're going to load 800 pounds on that thing, and all 4 team members are going to have to lift it at one time. I can get pretty spicy.
Yeah.
I wonder.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they space each other, space themselves out. They've done it before where they had like the women's weight, which is a little less on one side and the men's on the other, or is this just straight across?
I think from what I saw on Instagram, it's all straight across.
Yeah, because they've done it with the duos, like the pairs at regionals, but you would have a little bit lighter weight on the side for the women. The men would be, it was like the blue and yellow, or however they had it set up.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just straight across.
So I mean, that's going to come in. If the weight's the same, it's going to factor in how they set their
Yeah,
teammates
yeah,
up,
that's what I was thinking.
how they're set up across the bar, whether it's like guy, girl, or guy, girl, guy.
Yeah, arm
how they're
length,
flipping it.
how they stand.
Arm length, because there's a lot of room in there, so you can spread it out however you want to.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna be interesting. I mean, that's a long bar. There'll be a lot of stuff going on, and then too with the bike erg, this will be the first event at the CrossFit Games where they've actually used it. And for those of you who aren't familiar, Concept 2 also makes a bike, but it's similar, very similar to a road bike. Doesn't have any handles in the way that the assault bike does. So it's all legs. All legs. Has a damper
was
on
the
it
bike
also.
erg at regionals? So this is the first time it's in competition, period, not just the games.
Right.
Okay.
First time, period. Last year they made a lot of hype up. They created a lot of hype around it. Everyone, like Dave, kept showing it on his Instagram, and a lot of people went out and bought them. And it's going to be interesting to see how they use this thing. You see now it's going to be in place of having the team athletes on road bikes. So I'm interested to see how they use it going forward, and if it replaces the assault bike in a competition format.
So then coming off of that with event 2, they announced it's going to be box jumps, right? But what all have they said about it? I'm about to pull up Dave's.
Yeah, the only thing I saw
Instagram.
from the previous post was that they were
Event 2 is just called the 30s. And so all he's shown on his Instagram is looks like men going over a 36-inch box and women going over the 30.
Yeah,
And then he also adds in, what other movements do you think are involved in this test? Ooh. So there's going to be something else stacked in.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be anything.
I'll tell you what, here's a good chance. Y'all put in what you think in the comments.
Yeah.
We got to get those comments going.
Oh, yeah. This is what we'll do. So whoever gets closest to naming that workout, we'll give them a T-shirt.
Okay.
Get a free T-shirt.
Free T-shirt. Right. You got to put it in the comments, though.
Team Event 2. You
can't tell us.
Team Event 2. On YouTube only.
On YouTube only.
YouTube only, all right? In the comment section, whoever gets closest to guessing the remaining movements.
On the 30s.
And you just can't go through listing every movement in CrossFit. All right, you got to be specific. We don't need any numbers. We know it's 30. So you guess that workout, closest person gets a T-shirt. So put it in the comments on YouTube. But I mean, you look at that. I mean, how many people jump over a 30-inch box? And the way they're having to do it, based on that video, one after the other.
And it's synchro is what it looks like.
Yeah, I mean that could get pretty. That could be nasty.
Yeah, but that's all that's been announced for the team so far.
Yeah, that's 3 events for the individuals, 2 for the teams. I love what's been announced for the individuals. I think it's awesome.
Yep.
And the team workouts look pretty interesting. So setting up to be a good weekend of action already, right off the bat. So I'm excited, man. Yeah. I mean, the CrossFit Games is one of my most favorite times of the year. It's always funny because I sit around snacking on like pizza and potato chips and stuff while watching super fit people work out. But I mean, it's the highlight of our season, and so it's always fun. But even though all the speculation and the drama leading into it with all the drug tests, finally see, I mean, I think the most high-profile athlete that's
so
been
far
suspended.
Yeah.
Emily Abbott.
Yeah, Emily Abbott. So, our last podcast we actually talked about steroids. That was the topic, and at that time there were 4 regional athletes that got hit, and now there have been several. Or Emily Abbott was the only individual competitor.
Yeah.
But there was a team, two teams that got eliminated from the CrossFit Games because one of their athletes tested positive for steroids.
Right.
But do we want to just focus on Emily Abbott?
I just think Emily Abbott's a big one, man.
Well, it's an interesting story. So I pretty much got the timeline. She went on the Barbell Shrug podcast and pretty much told her side of the story. After it was announced that she had it, she responded on Instagram and said that she is going to submit, for review, and that she said that she had not taken anything to her knowledge. And so pretty much on the Barbell Shrug podcast, she was tested on May 27th and notified on June 18th. She had to provide a urine and blood test. She takes a few things for asthma, salbutamol and Advair, and she's taken those. No issues in the past. She's taken tests, been clean. However, she received an email about a failed drug test in which she tested positive for ibutamorin, Ibutamoren. Is that how you say it?
Ibutamoren.
And so she called her fiance, and her fiance told her that he had been taking that for months without her knowledge. And so that another name for that is MK677. It helps in building and repairing muscle damage. And he would take it at night before he went to bed. She only tested for 0.02 nanograms per milliliter, which is like super small dosage. I mean, I'm surprised that they can even pick up to that level, but that just shows you how.
That's just trace them out.
Right, and it shows you how in depth they're going with the athletes now, that they can pick that up. And so what she did, she got a toxicologist from Europe to do her appeal. And the toxicologist said that she got it in her system from a kiss the night before her drug test from her fiance. And so on top of that, Emily Abbott's come out and said that now that strained their relationship. And I mean, if that's how she got it, I mean, I can understand how she's so upset.
Oh yeah, because I mean, this is a person that you devoted now. I mean, they're engaged, so they're devoting their life to each other, and there's basically a secret that was being kept from her.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't 100% transparent with what he was doing, but I mean, in his defense, I guess in his defense, I mean, he didn't know. You know, I mean, because I've never heard, he's not on the spectrum of CrossFit. No one knows who he is.
Yeah.
So he may not.
And would you?
I mean, and
would you think, like, say Libba was going to the games, and you were taking this? Would you think that you could pass it to her by kissing her?
No.
Yeah, it wouldn't. That's not something that would cross your mind.
No, not just like a good night kiss or anything like that. But yeah, and so I mean, it was one of those things where.
And for at this level, like that trace amount, like I would be inclined to believe her. I'd be inclined to take her for what she said.
I definitely believe her because it's not. She never once. I listened to that podcast. Not didn't listen to the whole thing, but I listened to most of the conversation, and from what I heard, she never once refuted the fact that she did not pass the drug test.
Right.
She said, "I failed it, and I completely understand that." But what she was fighting is that there was such a small amount that it was obvious that she didn't take this banned substance directly. And I just, on one side I look at it like, hey, you need to be responsible for everything that you're doing, everything that you put in your body, you need to know. But then, and with that, I love the fact that CrossFit has a zero tolerance policy. Like, hey, there's something in your system, you're out of here, right? You got to face the suspension. But I mean, with that small of amount, it's obvious that it wasn't like she didn't intentionally try to cheat. Because if she were to take it directly, I think they said she would have had like hundreds of milligrams in her system. And so I don't even think that she had enough in her system to even provide any benefit.
Yeah, that's tough. So what happens now? So she's got a 4-year ban. Like she can't come back until 2022. And so pretty much this was, I think, going to be one of her last goes at going to the game. So I mean, like her career is pretty much over. Yeah,
she made a comment saying that she was thinking about being done with competitive CrossFit after this season, just to move on with her life because she is going to get married and possibly go ahead and start a family. So, but now that there's a 4-year suspension out there, I can't remember how old she is, but if she's close to
I don't think what I was
master's
age,
if she's close to master's age, that definitely takes her out of the individual competition.
And so, well, what if so CrossFit has like a zero tolerance policy, and so whether you test positive for trace amounts or you are just like straight up juicing, you get the ban. Yeah. And so the only thing I would ask is, like, does this bring into question maybe them having, if you test positive for this amount, do you only get a 1-year ban? If you test positive for this amount, do you get more? But then you have folks that may be able to cycle on and off and get down when they know, like, hey, it's even though they test all year, I'm sure they're going to be testing a lot more frequently during the actual CrossFit season.
Yeah, I mean,
from the open until
they showed up at Wadapalooza and drug tested some people. Yeah. And so I think just going forward, I think that either CrossFit is going to look at other sports, which I doubt because CrossFit likes to, dance to the beat of its own drum. Yeah. But I mean, when you look at other sports, they take into account how much of a drug has been used, and a lot of guys, like in CrossFit, you get a 4-year suspension for taking Adderall, where in the NFL, people are missing, they get 1 and 2 game suspensions.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Kelly for giving us that info on the Adderall.
Oh, yeah.
It's what, Schedule 2 drug? Isn't that what she says?
something too.
Yeah, I think it's like a Schedule 2 drug. Yeah, we were clueless. So.
Something too.
Yeah.
Kelly Holly, thank you for the info. Shout out. But yeah, I mean, these guys are only missing 2 games, and they're making a lot more money than CrossFitters are. So
yeah,
there's a lot more incentive for them to actually do that. But then they're getting penalized way less. So
Yeah.
I don't know, I think it's something to look at. But I do appreciate a zero tolerance policy.
Yeah,
It's in the
same.
rules. When you sign up for the Open, you have to sign or agree to the terms saying that you will follow the rules. It's in the rules that you can't take any PEDs, so don't do it.
Yep.
And if you're, read the labels. I mean, I'm sitting like whatever thousandth in the world, and I went and bought some BCAAs, and I was still looking at the back of the labels, like, what if,
Well, I mean, you have to though. I mean, look,
Yeah.
here's Trace Amount, and she's gone.
Oh yeah, and who knows what 4 years before your band will do
Yeah.
to you. Speaking about, because now, I'm pretty sure she has a lot of sponsors. So do her sponsors stick with her for 4 years as she can't compete, so they can't use it for any marketing?
Yeah, I wonder if that
purposes?
was in their contract or anything. Like you get popped, you get a ban, everything's over. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah.
Well, she's putting in an appeal process, right?
No, she already went through the
Oh, she did, okay.
Yeah. So the appeal process is done. That's when the appeals process was going on while the toxicologist was there,
yeah.
and her lawyer
Yeah.
was handling everything with CrossFit. So that's done. Like it's final. 4-year suspension, done. So, but even still, I feel like the races, the CrossFit Games, it's like, all right, who's going to try to take down Matt Fraser?
Yeah.
And I can't wait to watch the battle between Toomey, Kara Saunders, Katrin, Annie, and
The girls' race is what's going to be
whatever newcomer
interesting. I don't
comes
think
out.
anybody touches Matt.
yeah. It
As
didn't last
dominant
year.
as he was last year, like for somebody, and I know that the events have a lot to do with it, but like as well-rounded as the events were last year, and he dominated the way he did, it's gonna be tough for somebody to make up ground to be able to do that. But the women's race, I think there's several girls that could take that top spot. That podium could shift anyway.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch
It's
it.
gonna be a lot of fun.
Very excited. And another thing, while you're out there watching it, while we're all sitting around watching it, you might want to keep our eyes peeled because Shelby is going back to work again. She's going back, and Rachel Forbes is going as a volunteer.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
She's going to be working on Shelby's team. So you're just watching the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
Make sure you look out because you never know. I know I spotted Shelby several times, and especially during the award ceremony. She had a big role in that.
Yeah, she's out there.
So keep your eyes peeled, everybody. Look out for Shelby. Look out for Rachel. They'll be out there doing their thing, representing all in at the CrossFit Games. So
I think that pretty much wraps us up.
that's it, man. Just make sure, guys, once you watch this podcast, go check Facebook. Because once we get those 10 confirmed teams, we're going to release the workouts for
We
the
need to
All-In
know
CrossFit
the
Games.
workouts. We need to know the
release it.
workouts. Need 10 teams.
10 teams for that. Friday night, Sing karaoke, 7 to 9. Hide your kids because it's adults only. And make sure you bring your costumes. What else you got?
Don't forget to comment what you think Team Event 2 is going to be.
Yes.
Chance at a shirt.
Closest person to
Closest
to
person.
the movements in Team Event 2 gets a T-shirt. Click on the link, like, subscribe. Oh, we'll make sure we link the Barbell Shrug podcast.
Barbell
with
Shrug
Emily Abbott.
podcast and
Give that a listen.
anything else that we've mentioned in
Yeah,
here.
that was very insightful. So,
Yeah.
like, subscribe, put your guesses in the comments, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.